sometimes it's in coded language that we as clinicians don't even know that we're using, right? It's, we could have two families, and I'm just going to use black and white, right? We could have a black family and a white family, and their child, each of the children in the family has the exact same diagnosis. And the white parent, one of the white parents strongly advocates for their child. And everybody talks about like, oh, wow, isn't this parent just such an amazing advocate for their child? And the black family is doing the exact same thing, but they're seen as being, they're always questioning us. They don't trust us. Right? When it can be the exact, all the variables can be exactly the same except for race. But it's how we, it's so embedded in us, right? And we may not even recognize that we're treating these two families different. So when I was a bedside clinician, and honestly now as a leader who isn't doing clinical work, when in our IDT, for instance, our interdisciplinary team meeting, I will still name like, oh, this is interesting because weren't we just talking about another family whose child had the same diagnosis, and this is how they were being talked about, and really, I would do that as a bedside clinician. I do that as a leader, and our team has really infused equity. Our team at Seattle Children's has really infused equity into our IDT, or our interdisciplinary team meeting, so that we can identify those places. Because equity is not just, right, health equity is not just a deficit, it's also kind of an over, like, I so identify with this family, and I may not be aware that I so identify with this family, that I'm giving them more. I'm spending more time with them. I'm right, and instead of the quote unquote difficult family down the hall who I'm spending less time with, but I'm spending more time because this family feels familiar to me in identity, versus this family doesn't feel familiar to me, and actually I'm uncomfortable walking into that room.